Hi everyone, this is Jennifer Wilson from SimpleScrapper.com, and this is a special edition of our weekly pep talk. We're here in the Menards parking lot on Sunday afternoon, and my husband and I were having a conversation about memory keeping and how to focus on what really matters most and simplify your experience. So I was telling him a little bit about the weekly pep talk and invited him to be our, let's say, guest lecturer this week. And so I will turn the camera on him and ask him, his name is Steve, to tell you a little bit about his experience as, just a family memory keeper and what he thinks that we scrapbookers should be doing with our photos.
Hi everybody. Jennifer and I have this conversation actually quite frequently because to me, I'm practical about things, or try to be, and what I want to see are the photos. And so when I see a scrapbook page that has, a little photo the size of my thumb, and the rest of it's all embellishment and, fancy colors and all kinds of designs, that frustrates me because to me the focus is supposed to be on memory keeping. And so the conversation we've had a lot of times is what you should be doing is telling the story for your kids or your grandkids. And so for instance, one of my favorite things to do, my dad's passed away, and he used to take every picture he took was with 35mm slide film. And so going all the way back to when he was in the Army in the 50s, we've got 35mm slides of all the things he did on weekends when he went traveling and on weekend passes and all that kind of stuff. And there's nothing more fun and interesting than to sit down with an old slide projector and go through those. And we do it maybe once every 2 years or so. Those are memories, when he used to tell the stories, I remember most of them, but not all of them. I wish we had a way to write those things down. And so I guess 2 points I have: I'd rather see 2 pictures on a page with some journaling text that explain what's going on so that I remember those things and can tell my kids, this is what your grandpa did when he was in the Army, and those sorts of practical ideas. I think a lot of times even I've complained to Jennifer about her pages having the pictures too small. To me, the focus should be the pictures. And so, again, that's my view.
You say we're not using enough pictures on our pages, and also that the pictures are sometimes too small.
A lot of times when I see you show a lot of designs from other people and have them on the screen, a lot of times the pictures are small. And I understand, we've had this conversation too, some people are really into this for the art side of things, and I think that's great if that's what they want to do. But, make no mistake, 30 years from now, when somebody's looking at this picture, or you're showing this to your kids or your grandkids, they're not going to be as interested in whether it was pink paper or paisley paper and whether there's lace on it as they are wanting to hear the story of this picture of you when you were 12 years old and what you did. I think you have a great opportunity with journaling to actually tell that story so that it can be passed down. And I know, like for me, if I read something once, I can go back to it 10 years later and remember the additional highlights that were told to me and that sort of thing, because I have something to help jog my memory. So, what I would do as a scrapbooker today, if I did that, would be just the important pictures and a story of what each of those mean to go on those pages. And like I said, if you're really trying to leave a legacy for your children or your grandchildren, I think that's the best way to go. And that's just, again, my opinion. So,
do you think we're taking too many photos? You made a comment to me earlier that maybe we're too many, or we're saving too many, or we're at least trying to scrapbook too many photos.
It's so easy today because you don't have to buy film to take a bazillion photos. And, I do it too. But I think trying to go through 50 photos of the same thing to find the perfect shot, no one, down the road, it makes it almost not real, because you're taking all the perfect photos. This is the perfect example, blah, 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 blah. When I look at all the old pictures my mom and dad have, and my mom had surgery, I spent 3 days scanning all of her old photos, some of them from the 20s and things like that. Most of those pictures aren't even close to perfect. They have a lot of, they're not balanced, they're not centered, but no one looks at that. When my mom's showing me those photos and telling me a story of her great uncle, she's talking about the memory she has, not about how great the picture is. And so I do think if you're really trying to focus and simplify what you're doing, you need to focus more on a picture that really has, the heart of what is going on, and not worry so much about, I can't use this because the lighting isn't quite perfect. I'm going to have to throw this away or wait till another time to take a picture. I think that's ridiculous, personally. It isn't what's important. What's important is the memory.
So in each week's weekly pep talk, I kind of leave everyone with one action item for this week. So what would be your one thing that you'd like scrapbookers to think about or try differently this week?
For me personally, I guess it would be one thing that you can do is try to work with larger pictures, and remember that down the road, I wouldn't want to look at a page that has, a 1x2 picture on it, and it's trying to tell a story about my family history. I'd want to see a large picture that it's easy to look at and has more information on it. And so I guess my challenge, an easy challenge, and this would be for you too in some cases, would be to have your pages be more about the picture and the journal than about the embellishment. But,
Thanks a lot, Steve.
You're welcome.
The weekly pep talk is brought to you by Focus, the new class at Simple Scrapper to help you simplify your scrapbooking and focus on what matters most to you.